Oh, this matchup, you got Slauson, you got Hasse, you got tell you what, there's a lot of one-on-one matchups, game within the game, so to speak, Terrence, that should be good to watch here this afternoon.
Well, you're going speed against power. It's going to be interesting to see how Mercer tries to slow down the pace of this game, going up against Furman's guards and dynamic playmaking, and Jalen Slauson as well.
There you see the starting five for the Bears. Mercer wins the opening tap, and we're underway here from Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Conley Garrison back for the Paladins. He missed the win against UNCG Wednesday night in COVID-19 protocols. 7 on the shot clock. Loose ball. Hasse has it at the free throw line. Now 3 to shoot. Baseline all the way down. Left-handed layup doesn't fall. Loose ball grabbed by Alex Hunter, and Furman wanting to go quickly. Here's Slauson in the front court over to Garrison, and now Hunter open 3, top of the key. Yes.
And right off
that ball movement.
And right off the bat, you see the difference in styles. Mercer uses all 30 seconds of the shot clock trying to initiate some offense. On the other end, Furman wants to get out, grab a rebound, and push in transition, and there might not be a better shooter in the conference than Alex Hunter.
Hunter comes in almost 44% from long range behind the arc. There's both these teams good offensively. Mercer comes in 83 points a game. Furman comes in nearly 78 points a game. So, yeah, you say contrasting styles, but both very efficient styles.
Absolutely, and Mercer going to run a lot of high-low action, just like they did on that previous possession. If they're able to assert themselves inside and get Furman in a little bit of foul trouble, watch out, because it could make for an interesting matchup.
Shot clock again down to 5. Greco, ball tip, 1 on the shot clock, forced up, and a foul with 1 on the shot clock. And it'll be 2 shots coming up at the line as you take a look at Greg Gary in his 3rd season. Came from Purdue, and you know the Gary and his staff, and quite a job down in Macon.
Yeah, he does a nice job. He really schemes well. One of the smarter minds in college basketball, especially in the SoCon, and he's got size this season. He brought pretty much everybody down from Purdue. He's got about 3 or 4 Purdue guys on his roster, but Coach Gary, really smart individual, super nice guy, and he's got a nice team this year as well.
I say 84% on the line for the season. Comes in averaging in conference play. There's 24 points a game, obviously, against Samford for the season. Hasse 15 points a game. He's joined by Jalen Johnson and Alvarez and Glisson in double figures. Knocks them both down. Furman with the basketball on a 1-point early lead. Bothwell curls around a screen all the way to the glass, and that's what makes golf so dangerous for Bothwell. He can get to the glass, he can pull up, and you got to kind of choose how you defend him.
That's right. And number 3, Shannon Grant, he's so worried about Jalen Slauson for the pick and pop. He has to stay in position, stay in front of the basketball. Poor job defensively communicating by the big fella, but nice job by Furman attacking the basket.
All the way down, a lot of contact, Walker Jr., and there's going to be an offensive foul. There to take the charge is Jalen Slauson, and the ball back to the Paladins.
And Jalen Slauson has done everything for this Furman team. Nice job getting out in front, outside the charge lane, holding his ground. That'll be going the other way. There's a couple of different ways to protect the rim defensively. Either you're going to be a shot blocker, which he's proven to be, or you're going to do it, well, it looks like we're going to change the call. We're going to have a block. The referees changed the call at the last moment. We're going to have a block call on Jalen Slauson.
They did change the call.
He must have not got, we couldn't quite see it on the replay, but he didn't get outside of the charge lane.
We'll take, after the first free throw, we'll take another look. Walker at the line to shoot 2. His first one's off the mark. So they're going to say he was in the arc as they take another look.
And his heel did clip the arc. It was close. Maybe not. Maybe not. That's tough. Maybe after contact, his heel ended up on it. We're going to take a look at it. Oh, it looked like he was out, Bryant. It looked like he was out. Tough call. Tough call. Needs to be careful about getting his second.
1 of 2 from the line. 5-3. Palin is back with the basketball. Bothwell, quick trigger, left-handed 3 on the way. In and out.
Quick offense by Furman. Here's where you got to match up quick, though. Nice job by Marcus Foster staying in front of the basketball. Whenever he's in the game, you improve your defensive versatility if you're Furman.
Slauson trying to go one-on-one down low. Patient, keeps the pivot foot, double team comes. Now Hunter into the lane, out to Foster. Foster open three-pointer, top of the key, off the mark, and Slauson keeps it alive.
Oh, tough collision by
Hunter. Physical game, Terrence, down low.
Very physical early. Very physical early. Both teams attacking the glass. Mercer playing much faster than I originally anticipated that they would, but if you're going to get wide open layups, you have to take advantage. But you'll see the difference. I mean, in size. Jalen Slauson, Mercer subs in a couple of players trying to get somebody that can stay in front consistently, because once that chain of events starts for Furman, it's really tough to guard him. And Marcus Foster has just improved on a game-to-game basis, attacking the rim, shooting the basketball, and he's, like I mentioned earlier, a really versatile defender.
6'4", redshirt sophomore. He went up against the much taller Felipe Haase through contact to put the Paladins back in front. Half-court man-to-man, been the defense for both teams here the first 3.5 minutes. Great crowd here, downtown Greenville. About 10 minutes for the Furman campus. Nice move by Haase. Spins toward the baseline and ties thing up.
And you got to give Haase credit. That's a nice move. He's excellent at playing with leverage. He's lost about 20 pounds last offseason coming into this year. If he's able to play with leverage in the post, that's going to be Furman's go-to option early in the game. And nice defensive possession. It looked like there was some movement, but it looks like he also got good defensive position. That's a tough call.
Bothwell gets called for the offensive foul. Take another look, looking to go baseline.
I might have sold it a little bit right there, Bryant. Regardless, though, a little too much. Tough call.
Bears back with the basketball. Mercer coming off 83-80 victory against the Sanford Bulldogs. They did have their Chattanooga game to lead off conference play postponed due to COVID protocols. And Terrence, that's something all these teams are going to have to deal with this year, as Haase has the ball deflected, knocked away, and coming away with it is Joe Anderson.
Great job, Furman, getting in, double teaming. Oh, some crafty dribbling by Furman. That's tough. That's a good shot in transition. You're initiating offense the way you want to. If you're Furman, playing at a high level, playing at fast pace, you're going to be able to create shots early in the clock that way.
Bothwell 37% from long range, off the mark there. Furman just 1 of 5 here from long range in the first 4.5. Contested jumper, that's off the front of the rim. Haase tips it right into the hands of Marcus Foster, and here come the Paladins. Bothwell coast to coast over to Anderson in the corner. He'll launch a quick trigger three, yes.
You got to give Joe Anderson credit. He came in this season, didn't shoot it that great last year, but this season he's become a reliable shot maker from three. Known for his playmaking and his passing, he added that 3 ball in the offseason. He's succeeded at a high level so far this season when he's gotten the minutes.
Down low to Haase. They get it over the top. Bothwell comes over, bothers Haase, and misses the easy layup.
Furman's done a nice job defensively of coming over and doubling whenever Mercer tries to go high-low. Mercer, since they have that size advantage, Furman has to be extra pesky and fast on help side.
Well, Bothwell did everything except finish right at the rim. Showed patience by the senior out of Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Mercer back with the basketball. Next whistle will be the first media timeout. All the way, spin move, hesitation by Johnson, blocked. Slauson into the front court, looking to go one-on-one. He's bumped, and there'll be 2 shots for Jalen Slauson when we come back.
Nice job defensively. You got to get back and communicate, but if you're Furman, get out, push the basketball, and look for open shooters. Alex Hunter trails the play. He's wide open. You got to guard that man. He's hit over 53s this year. Furman up 3 as we enter the break.
Welcome back courtside. Bryant Lambert, Terrence Ogilvie still trying to get himself put together here courtside. Tell you what, fast and furious start, 10-7 Paladins up front, but tell you what, Furman's playing fast. Mercer slows it down a little bit, but they pick their points to go.
Absolutely, and you're looking at a Mercer team that is going size over speed, and the exact opposite if you're Furman. That team needs to move the ball quickly in order to create shots in the open floor. Furman, because they're so big, they're going to struggle to match up at times, especially at the 4 and the 5 position. That just so happens to be Furman's best position, especially with Slauson's out there playing the 5.
The officials during that timeout went to confirm the blocking foul was on Jalen Slauson. They can't change the call, but I think the official might have realized Terrence Slauson might have been outside the restricted area. But you can't change that call at this point of the game. They just did confirm that foul was going on Slauson, who makes one of two, or the first of two here from the line as Furman goes up 4. Second one is good. Slauson comes in averaging 15.8 points a game. 80%, 70% rather from the free throw line.
Kamar Robertson with the basketball. Neftali Alvarez suffered a foot injury. Timetable is yet to be determined. Mercer's obviously hoping to get him back in the near future, but this is where Furman has to be really good. You got to play in front. You got to know your defense is sitting behind you. You try to tilt the floor defensively.
2 on the shot clock, down the lane, hesitation, shot goes up with 1, off the mark, battle for the rebound, taken down by Grant. He barely gets it to fall, but no goaltending as it was sitting on the rim, so count the basket. And it's a 12-9 game. In for the Paladins, seeing some action now is Tyrese Huey, the freshman out of Columbus, Ohio, as you take another look at the goaltend.
And he's got his hands full down there. Shannon Grant, the 6'10", 280-pound sophomore, has actually lost about 30 pounds since getting onto campus, really worked on his body. And Coach Gary really likes where this young man's game is headed, especially as he gets a few more years under his belt.
Anderson in front of the Mercer bench. See all this movement off the ball for the Paladin offense. Garrison leaves it over Garrett Heen. Heen back to Garrison with 8 on the shot clock. Quick trigger 3. Hunter, yes. Talk about ball movement.
It's so difficult to guard Furman whenever they're able to create a closeout and get guys helping. They are such a good passing team and a quality three-point shooting team with multiple guys that can knock down shots. You're able to really space out the defense, especially when you're outsized, quite frankly.
Third Furman assist on 5 made buckets as Heen gets his hand in the passing lane. You know, Coach Ritchie and his staff big on analytics, big on deflections, as you see in his 5th season. Almost 100 wins in his head coaching career, but deflections are big, and there you see Heen, who's, Coach Ritchie was honest. He's challenged him over the winter break the past couple weeks and said he's been practicing as good as anybody.
Well, when you're, you know, this game in particular, he's probably outweighed by about 60 pounds. He needs to use his speed to get around. As you say, Jalen Johnson line one up. But this is where he needs to be good. Run the floor hard, create that space, and then Bothwell can attack. What a move by Mike Bothwell.
Give Bothwell 4 points. Furman has their largest lead here at 8, 17-9. Now ball on the floor. Loose is going to be a jump ball. Possession to the Paladins, and there you see active hands defensively leads to a Mercer turnover.
Good job by Heen getting out, hard hedging the ball screen and having active hands with Robertson. And Alvarez not being in the game, Robertson's going to have a lot of responsibility. He needs to do a better job of hanging on to the basketball. You see a lot of initial action to try to get Furman, get the defense moving. Nice job by Bothwell attacking the D. He either needs to pass it quick or make a decision. It's like he's caught in between, hey, I need to attack the basket, I need to shoot it, or you can't do all 3. Get rid of the ball or shoot the basketball. He's a quality shooter as well.
Mercer just one of their last 7 from the field, 27% so far in this first half. Paladin shooting above 50% at 55%. Hasse. Now Walker working against Anderson into the lane. A lot of contact on that right arm. No whistle. Hasse top of the key. Kicks it to the corner. Open three-pointer on the way. Roberson, and that's good ball movement by the Bears to knock one down from long range.
And that's what makes Felipe Hasse so good, his ability to put it on the floor and get into the paint as a 5-man, and he's a quality decision maker. Whenever he gets in there, he can finish inside, and he's also a good passer once he gets inside.
He thought about a 3 and now takes it all the way to the glass. Tell you what, you got to respect the 3, and then he gets the easy 2.
A good job attacking closeouts. Every now and then, whenever you're penetrating and pitching out, you're going to get an opportunity for an easy layup as well.
Johnson near side, Roberson trying to get it down low to Hasse. Hasse then sends it near side, three-pointer on the way, off the mark. Strong rebound by Heen down low. Furman going quick. Bothwell to Huey. up and over the front of the rim, and what a catch by Huey running full speed.
Yeah, it was a big-time pass by Bothwell, but he put it a little far in front of it. That just shows the athleticism in the hands of Huey, who was a late add to the roster as far as he was a redshirt candidate earlier in the season. Richie obviously decides to take it off, and the Paladins have benefited from his athleticism and hustle.
Bothwell looking to go coast to coast, leaves it off for Heen. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 when we come back. Paladins have made their last 4 from the field. Mr. Oglesby, defense leading to offense, and Alex Hunter has the Paladins up 9. Bryant Lambert, Terrence Oglesby back with you here. 10:33 to go first half. Paladins leading at 21-12. Some future Paladins out there during the timeout. Taking a look at series history, Terrence. All time, Furman leads this series, and what's a very competitive, it says 21-10. The Paladins have won the last 12, but those games close, down to the wire. Good matchups in the Southern Conference tournament. I tell you what, top of the Southern Conference, Macon and Greenville are 2 big spots.
Huge spots. And you look at Furman this year, they're going to have every shot at winning the Southern Conference title and finally getting to the NCAA tournament. If you look at Mercer, we're talking about series history. How about history in general? Remember a few years ago, upset Duke. Duke was the 2 seed. Big time stuff. My main man, Daniel Shirley, a big columnist for The Athletic, Mercer grad. Got to throw a shout out to my man there.
Heen rattles out. Arthur Vaught, Matt German, Adam Floor, the officials here this afternoon. Coach Greg Gary having a lengthy conversation as Heen tries to knock down the second from the line and pushes Furman's lead to 10. Paladins now coming out full court pressure. Seeing the freshman J.P. Pegues out of Nashville, Tennessee. He'll have the task of guarding Kamar Robertson.
Got out to a slow start offensively, has Pegues, but if you're a freshman, you're trying to make your way to get more minutes, do it on the defensive end, and there's a perfect example, hustling around some off-ball screens to get a deflection.
How about your 5 and Slauson can lead it up the court, laid off to Heen off the glass. Slauson to Hunter to Heen, and the Paladins up 24-12, doubling up.
And
the Bears.
so many of these early scores by Furman have just been a result of semi-transition and them playing together. And whenever they're playing together at a high level, they've got 5 guys on the floor that can pass the basketball, and defensively, the activity level has been really good so far.
Johnson step back. That's a tough 2, too strong. Pegues out running. Doesn't have numbers. Will slow things down and wait for the Furman offense. Pegues thought about a 3, and now Slauson. Slauson looking to go one-on-one down low. Double team doesn't come or comes late. That's off, no good. Weak side, Heen can't get it to fall.
Got to dunk that, brother Heen. That ball gets up there on the rim. You need those, especially backside offensive rebounds. He can do a good job of being effective there, but you got to knock down the layup.
Furman in the midst of a 7-0 run. Mercer without a point in the last 2:40. Nice pass to the corner, open 3 on the way. Walker knocks it down, and a big shot by the Bears to cut the Furman lead to 9.
Jackson Greco coming off the curl screen, realizing help, comes in, makes a nice feed out to the corner. And Bothwell, I was about to say before he caught that ball, it got away with a travel there, but nice move nonetheless by Garrett Heen. But Mercer, whenever they're able to put pressure on the rim and then kick back out, that's when they're going to be able to get some open shots.
Heen now with 7 as the Paladins have 14 points in the paint here with 8.5 to go in this first half. Mercer 2 of 4 from long range. Furman 3 of 7. Here's Glisson. Robertson baseline, 10-foot jumpers up and in. Robertson now has 5 and back to a 9-point game at 26-17.
Ball moving from side to side. It all comes down to the same thing, really, Bryant. Whenever you're able to attack, close out, and put the defense in a bind, that's when you can be really good, and that's just when Furman, right there. Hunter gets down baseline, nice cut by Bothwell, finds the open man for a layup.
Unselfish play. Paladins now with 11 field goals. 7 have been assisted here in the first 12 minutes. Next whistle, under 8 media timeout. Garrison and Foster at the table for the Paladins.
You'll look at number 20 right here, Jalen Johnson with the ball. Played at Tennessee, then transferred to Wake Forest, spending his last season at Mercer. He has been much better this season whenever Mercer has been able to get a stop and he's been able to initiate the break. So far this game, they haven't been able to stop Furman in order to create those opportunities for him.
Furman trying to go quickly off the Mercer make. Bears get back defensively. Now, whistle and Bothwell steps on the sideline. Will take us to immediate timeout. 7:21 to go here in the opening half. Furman holding a 9-point lead here in downtown Greenville. Charles Oglesby with you. Furman up 9 here, 7:21 to go in this first half. Furman getting it done down low, and then multiple players helping out.
Well, a lot of it's a result of getting rebounds, getting out and pushing, and that's how they're creating their offense early in the clock. And it helps when you have a guy like Marcus Foster, as strong as he is. They have just been playing bully ball down in the paint against a much bigger team. But for the most part, it's been as a result of getting out in transition and creating for each other. And Furman, whenever they're operating at a high level, they're getting stops, they're pushing out in transition, and they're creating easy opportunities.
Dean with an early 7 points, 6 for Hunter, 6 for Bothwell, lead the Paladins. Walker leading the Bears with 8, followed up by Robertson's 5. Bears with the basketball. Furman half court, man-to-man. Here you see Slauson comes up, keeps it in bounds, and gets it over to Hunter. Defense. Now Pegues thought about a 3, and he's going to be stepped on the sideline. Pegues turns it over. It's the second time a Paladin stepped on the side.
And you got to give credit where credit's due. Jalen Slauson on the defensive end, doing a nice job doing his early work. Knew the play, was good play recognition defensively. He gets out in front, is able to deflect the pass.
Tucker. Here's that Greco, and now Hasse cutting down low off the glass, can't finish as Johnson. Ball tapped out of bounds, will stay with the Paladins. Tucker trying to say he didn't touch it. I'll get Joe Anderson back in the game. Furman 61% from the field here in the early going. Pegues checks out.
Little game within the game. Pegues checks out. Anderson comes in, and then Sean Walker Jr. checks in as well.
We talk about some of these one-on-one matchups, and you probably see, you hear so much about offense for defense and late game situations, but probably matchups too, you're countering substitutions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so far, I mean, Furman has been able to get them in some spots where they're uncomfortable. This is a big matchup right here. You want to talk about individual matchups. Oh, man. Hasse and Slauson. And Slauson wins that round, buddy. Little shimmy to the left hand.
Yeah, fake baseline and then cut back toward the middle of the lane for the easy left-handed finish. And tell you what, Jalen Slauson can finish with either hand. That makes him even tougher to guard down low. Paladin's back to this 11-point lead. Hasse, little bunny, that's too easy for Felipe Hasse. He has 6.
And they both count 2 points. And what happens there is Mercer does a nice job setting screens. It's so important when you're a bigger team to set screens properly. And what does that do? There's Exhibit A. Joe Anderson gets a wide open shot. You set good screens, you put the defense in a conundrum, and you're going to get open shots. The same thing happened on the other end with Hasse.
Anderson now 2 of 2 from long range. He has 6. Furman's matched its largest lead here at 12.
And you'll see down in the post, Joe Anderson's battling, but look at Conley Garrison getting over early defensively. They are forcing this skip pass, and it's a tough pass to make against high hands. Furman, sure, they're undersized, but their activity level on the post for Mercer has been excellent so far.
Slauson to get a blow as Heen checks back in. You talk about huge size advantage for Hasse down low when he catches it. You say Garrison come over, just kind of show that double team, forces a little bit of indecision.
Well, you're not just playing one-on-one. I mean, we talk about matchups. A lot of that comes down to what's behind you. Sure, you want to be able to guard the ball, but if your help side's in proper position, there's another one. Walker Jr. needs to step over, be on that help line, and he's going to be able to contest an easy bucket. But good screen setting is crucial. Whenever either you're a big team or you're undersized, you're going to be able to put the defense in a conundrum.
35-21, 14-point Paladin lead, their largest here in the opening half. Robertson down low, hesitates off the side of the backboard. How about Heen? He's showing up everywhere here this afternoon. Bothwell has Foster. Thought about a 3, hesitates, down low, through contact, can't get it to fall, gets his own rebound, doesn't fall, but how about Marcus Foster battling down low?
Does a nice job attacking a closeout. He's so physically strong that when he gets his shoulder on the defense, he's able to just hold them off. Obviously, you want to finish the first one, but nice effort, getting downhill. Lost the ball a little bit on the way up, but does a quality job staying after it, getting to the free throw line.
Foster on the season, just a 64% free throw shooter. Comes in averaging 7.1 points a game and knocks that one down. His third point. So obviously, you could light it up from any distance. How much did you utilize the pump fake to get down low? I mean, everybody knows you can shoot, but were you more of a quick trigger, get it off guy?
You know the answer to that already.
Well, I'm just, you see guys like Foster, Hunter that utilize both. I mean, serious question, was that ever a part of the consideration?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you have guys that close out on you top heavy. Yeah. You're going to be able to get somewhere, but, I mean, that obviously, I was a specialist, Brian.
Yep.
I mean, I like to think I could put it on the floor and get to the rack, but I knew my job. I had other guys that could do that for me.
If you passed up a three, your coaching staff probably asked, what are you doing?
They got upset.
Now another turnover by the Bears. 5th turnover for Mercer. All of a sudden, this lead's ballooned out to 16 points here with 4:17 to go. Slauson comes back in. I like that move by Coach Ritchie. Slauson, a quick minute 10 break, get him back in. And tell you what, productive minutes by Heen doing that break for Slauson.
Well, you're trying to be smart with fouls. Slauson's obviously got one. Mercer's big. He's going to be put in a lot of defensive assignments that could yield 2 foul calls. So you got a little offense, defense, closing in on the end of the half. Here's where he can be so good. That's a tough shot, though. You need to be able to put your head down and get past that defense.
Offensive rebound, Conley Garrison, who sent it out to Anderson, wasn't able to knock down the three-pointer. The Bears come down with the rebound. Furman out rebounding Mercer 16-6 here in the first half. Pass down low, deflected by Bothwell.
See what, Mercer, I mean, you try to say good things about both teams, obviously, Bryant, but they've been really, one, they haven't rotated well. 2, they've been really careless with the basketball. 6 turnovers, done some things that obviously Coach Gary's not going to be too happy with. And he's going to take a timeout, and rightfully so. Furman really taking off here early, up 18 with 3:30 to play.
Paladins rolling here in the first half, up 39-21. Southern Conference play, Terrence, just getting going, but there's some big-time matchups today. Wofford up in Johnson City, ETSU. Tell you what, it was UNCG beating VMI to drop VMI to 2-1 in the league. So even though early in SoCon play, every game's so big.
Well, VMI scraping off 2 really good wins. Furman at their place, and then actually went down to Wofford to open up SoCon play, to open up with a win there. Coach Dan Earl obviously has done a really nice job with that program. And it's hard to recruit at some of these military schools, but he's got a really good one, a young man named Jake Stevens, about 6'10", 250 pounds.
It's a player.
Operates outside in, a really talented young man.
We'll see what the Bears do coming out of this timeout. Trailing by 18, trying to get some offense. Furman in the midst of a 9-0 run. Shot from the corner, knocked down. As Tucker gets his first points of the first half. Garrett, you talk a little bit about the Paladins and what they can do with speed. Slauson, you got to respect the 3 there. Tries to get to the rim, loses it, and Hasse with the board. But Mercer closing out. Furman has some options.
And that's right. And if you're Mercer, you're trying to slow down the tempo a little bit. But Furman so far, such good defense and activity. And it's a tough matchup. Nice shot by Alex Hunter. Point guard layup, just not able to connect. That'll be a foul on Marcus Foster. But defensively, Furman's doing a nice job of staying active and staying in front. A little bit too aggressive if you're Foster, obviously. Try to get the offensive rebound, but would have been tough regardless. But if you're Mercer and you get put in closeout situations, talked to Coach Gary last night. He said his team needs to stay ahead of the action. And what he means by that is you better know your scout and know where you're supposed to be on some of these closeouts, because as soon as Furman gets you closing out and they're playing that penetration and kit game, they are deadly.
Good rebound there by Bafudo. Couldn't finish. Furman quickly the other way. Bothwell into the lane through contact, doesn't fall, but he'll go to the line for 2. But how about on the other end? Jalen Slauson, hands straight up. He has that one personal foul. Really nice job of altering the shot without fouling.
Yeah, really does a tremendous job. As you'll see, Bothwell getting down. He's so strong physically, Brian. He gets his shoulders on you. He's so strong with the basketball. Obviously a foul on Bafudo, but Bothwell, he gets ahead of steam, and he gets you on his hip. It is really tough to guard that young man. Was honored before the game. What was it for, 1,000 points, Brian, I believe? Just a quality college player.
Earlier this season, yeah, crossed the threshold, and Brand gave the ball to his mom in the stands and went back out for the national anthem. As
Didn't even give his mom a kiss. Didn't even give his mom a kiss. He was ready to play.
41-23, Palin is out in front. Bears with the basketball. Furman shooting 56%. That one's grabbed down low. Robertson converts. He now has 7.
That was a really nice pass. Robertson coming off the screen tight. Does a nice job of setting himself up. That was a high-level pass as well.
Garrison, top of the key 3 on the way. Can't knock it down. Garrison doesn't miss many of those. Conley Garrison, 44.6% from beyond the arc. Hasse thought about a 3. Marcus Foster defending.
And that was great defense by Foster. That's where Hasse likes to get out in transition, blur some ball screens. What does that mean? He doesn't set the screen. He slips out from underneath it and tries to create a 3-point shot for himself. But great defense, a little late on help side defense by Bothwell, but got fortunate.
Foster, 2-on-3, slows it down for Slauson. Goes baseline, Garrison. Now Foster runs right into the defender and gets called for the offensive foul.
Great job by Robertson getting up in front. That'll be a charge call.
Taking a look at what the Paladins have done in non-conference play, Coach Ritchie's saying, hey, we're going to know as prepared as what we need to be going into conference play. Some of those losses, Belmont in overtime, that was right after the Louisville game, and tell you what, they feel like they let one get away in Starkville.
Yeah, and that's a good Starkville team dealing with some injury things, but man, I'm telling you, Furman's able to shoot the basketball and make teams close out. They're about as good as any team there is, just simply because from the 3-point line, they have so many different weapons.
Furman without a field goal the last 2:26, still leading it though by 16 points as we go under a minute to play in this opening half. Emerson working against Alex Hunter, now out to Hasse. Roberson trying to go over the top, and Alex Hunter gets called for the bump. It'll be the 6th Paladin foul, and the 2nd on Alex Hunter.
And that's tough because Alex Hunter's just trying to battle over top of the screen. That's 2 on Hunter, but does a nice job trying to get over. I mean, maybe a little too much contact, but good hustle. They've done a nice job today, Bryant, of communicating whenever Hasse is setting the ball screen because he's so deadly from the perimeter. And Jalen Slauson is just pressuring the basketball all the way out to half court. The activity level, I keep saying it, the activity level. Obviously, you get a little unlucky there. They're good on help side, but that's where your size is going to help you out. It looks like Coach Ritchie's going to take a timeout right before the end of the half. Get one more solid possession.
Yeah, use it or lose it timeout. There's an 8-second differential shot in game clock. Take a look at that last possession. Hasse could have gone straight up against Garrison, has it stripped away by Heen, and then Bafudo there to finish. Furman's led by as many as 18, 6 at 14 right now. Paladin's in a bit of a field goal drought, Terrence, but if you're Coach Ritchie, you got options. You know, maybe the last possession of the half, what do you like to go to?
Well, you try to figure out something to get a mismatch so your speed can take advantage of a closeout. And what does that mean? It could be if Shannon Grant's in the game, set a ball screen, pitch it back, and then have some backside action. If they go small, I'm interested to see what Coach Gary does here on the defensive end. So he's going to stay with the same crew that was on the floor originally with Bafudo and Hasse. What do you try to do? You try to set up Slauson maybe on the perimeter to get downhill against a closeout and use his athleticism going to the basket.
Again, about 7-8 differential second-wise between the shot and the game clock. Paladin is up 14 here, late stages opening half. Bothwell in front of the Bear bench, 15 to shoot. He'll go into the lane. Hesitates, nowhere to go with the basketball, forces one up, can't get it to fall, gets his own rebound. Battling underneath, and it's going to be a foul called against Mercer, just the 15th foul, so no shots, Terrence, but Furman can hold for the last shot with 13 seconds.
Well, it was a nice play design with Slauson going to set the down screen, but if you're Mike Bothwell, you've got to come off looking to attack right away off the catch. If you're going to sit there and size up Walker Jr., he's a good athlete. He's going to be able to stay in front. But good job staying after the play. A lot of contact. Obviously, Walker Jr. can't do that. Can't grab the man around his neck.
That's the third personal foul on Walker, something to look at.
Well, Walker's one of the better athletes on the team, especially defensively, can really move.
Hunter, big three-pointer here. Now clock running with 8 seconds. Mercer with the last chance. Haase.
Have to make something happen
Roberson,
quick.
2 seconds, trying to get all the way down, leads it off, and it's going to be out of bounds, but the half expires.
Defensively, Furman has been impressive with their speed. They're able to create off the bounce on offense as well. But I tell you what, when Furman is operating in this manner, passing, cutting, defending, contesting shots, they are tough.
Furman up 17 as we go to the half.
I think UConn had the same thing. That was a great game, by the way, Brian. I watched that before I came here. Those was two big-time athletic programs.
It'll be Mercer basketball to start this second half. Trying to chip away at this 17-point deficit. Roberson wants to go baseline. He gets it out to Haase. Furman transitioning on the defensive end. Shot in the corner, knocked down. Furman not able to rotate, and Jalen Johnson knocks it down from the corner.
And that was a great job by Felipe Haase, seeing the backside and putting the pass right on the numbers to an open Jalen Johnson in the corner.
Furman first offensive possession here in the second half. Here's Hunter over to Slauson. He'll think about a three. Nice backdoor pass to Foster, and he gets hacked, and he'll go to the line for two. And how about unselfish play by Jalen Slauson to find the cutting Foster?
Yeah, he saw Shannon Grant. Obviously, he's going to attract a lot of attention. Felipe Haase guarding Marcus Foster in the corner. Got to have your head on a swivel. Excellent pass. Marcus Foster able to get the foul call. He'll be shooting 2.
Foster 4 points. 2 of 2 from the line here so far tonight.
Marcus Foster's been a pleasant surprise. 7 points, 5.5 boards. Didn't play early in the season, right when we started calling games together, but as it's progressed along, he's figured out his role. Played really well defensively.
Comes in just over 7 points a game. And that's something we talked to Coach Rucci about a few weeks back. He said, hey, we got guys that contribute, but if you're earning time in practice, he's like, I'm not afraid to throw you out there. And Foster, one of those players, kind of like Joe Anderson and others that have earned their time on the court.
Look at Mercer trying to overload one side to pass it in to Shannon Grant in the post. Tough move. But he's got significant size inside. Furman's doing exactly what they need to be. Pesky around the ball. If he brings that ball down, you better take it away and not give him that room.
Garrison, 2 points, just 2 shot attempts here from the field, coming off after missing the last game with protocols. And Foster, wild shot attempted. Look what I found, Marcus Foster. He now has 8.
Shannon Grant gets out there and needs to do a better job of guiding the offense to the baseline side and getting him to the help. You know you don't have a quickness advantage there, but at the same time, at least you know your teammates know where you're going to get beat to.
18-point lead, Paladin's largest. Greco gives it out, step back Johnson. Tough 3, off the mark. Offensive rebound taken down by Grant. Here's 280 coming at you, and he can't finish down low, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by the Paladins.
And Coach Gary is not happy about it. He thought that Grant got fouled, and he might have a case because Slauson did leave his feet, but nonetheless, Slauson battling down there despite being significantly outsized. And we'll see here, Shannon Grant, nice move to the baseline, and might have a case. Hey, that might have been a Shaq no call. The guy is so big that you can't do much about it.
Foster saves it. You hold your breath if you're a Paladin fan under your own basket. Slauson looking to go coast to coast. Spins. He's grabbed down low, and it'll be 2 shots at the line for Jalen Slauson. And talk about the big fella trying to go coast to coast.
Live ball turnovers create these kinds of situations, and you can forget it. Jalen Slauson gets ahead of steam against Shannon Grant. Shannon Grant's a good player in his own right. He does a lot of good things. Speed is not his game. It's a power game. It's an around-the-bucket game. If he's backpedaling against Jalen Slauson, you can forget it.
Also makes the first. They'll get the redshirt senior Victor Bafuto out of Brazil back in for the Bears, and Grant taking a seat. 19-point lead, Furman's largest. There's a chance to push it to 20, which he does. Hasse so far this afternoon, just 6 points, 2 of 5, and that's a player who mentioned over 20 against Sanford, over 40 against Winthrop. He's had his points this season.
Well, he's been able to score when they're able to create mismatches and use his outside shooting. The problem with his matchup right now is that Furman is switching everything. And what happens is he's not able to get that space. He operates really well out on the perimeter. But nice drive by Robertson. Alex Hunter, he just stays disciplined right here and doesn't reach. He's in good position. Nice drive by Kamar Robertson, the junior.
Robertson at the line to shoot 2. He has 7 points, 1 behind Walker for the team lead, and knocks down the first. And we'll have 1 more upcoming as Joe Anderson's back in for the Paladins.
He's been handed a lot of responsibility, has Robertson, with the temporary injury of Naftali Alvarez. Alvarez, obviously one of the quickest guards in the conference. They really miss him from a ball handling perspective. But Robertson has come in and done a solid job. It's just you obviously have to worry about point guard depth if you're Mercer. And live ball turnovers have really beaten you so far this game.
Shot off the mark, rebound taken down by Hasse, and here come the Bears trailing at 50-32. Mercer missed all their field goals since the opening 3-pointer here to start the second half. Johnson working against Joe Anderson at a size advantage. Now Hasse tries to reverse the basketball, and there you see Furman's kind of weak side defense helping, and that's ball saved back in with 8 to shoot. 3-pointer taken by Greco, who comes up with the big shot.
How about Greco? Nice effort by Mercer to save the basketball. And it looks like Furman stepped over the line, or I didn't quite see what happened there, Bryant.
Looking to inbound and stepped over the line before he threw it in, and we'll be back to the Bears, have the lead down to 15 here. Huey checks back in for the Paladins. Three-pointer, can he do it again? Back-to-back 3, that one off the mark. Rebound taken down, and here comes Furman quick.
All right, this is where Mercer really needs to communicate and load up ball side. Nice job getting back, but it doesn't matter if Bothwell can shoot right over the top. And this is where Jalen Johnson, he has the ball right now. This is where he has benefited, using ball screens. He's a good athlete, but if he plays around with it a little bit too much, Coach Gary did say that too. He's a really good player when he doesn't mess around too much, and he's just a straight line driver.
Almost a 5-second call. 12 on the shot clock. Greco thinks about the 3. Now down low, off the glass and in by Bafudo. And the Bears have it down to 13.
And that was second side offense, Bryant. That ball moves from side to side. You're able to get the defense's help rotations a little bit late. Nice pick and roll action by Mercer.
Quick 7-0 run by the Bears the last minute 20. Bothwell, 12 on the shot clock, looks to go baseline. Leaves a cutting Garrison, fights through contact, a late whistle and a foul, and Garrison will go to the line to shoot 2, and a nice job movement without the basketball by the senior.
Yeah, good job by Garrison. He knows those angles, but also a nice job by Bothwell, not becoming impatient even though they were going under the ball screens. He continues to keep his dribble alive. Nice cut by Garrison. Close call. You got to have your hands straight up. Can't come down. As Garrison got to the free throw line and made his first.
Garrison, a very good free throw shooter, as you would imagine. Not many attempts for the year, but above 83% as he knocks them both down. Furman lead back to 15. I'm going to see a little token full court pressure here from the Paladins. Next whistle will take us to the under 16 media timeout. Quick trigger 3, Hasse, that's a bit too strong. He can knock that down from outside. He's a 49% three-point shooter on the year, so don't feel like you can't step out the big fella.
No, you really have to do a better job of communicating and make sure he doesn't get loose, because he's the guy that can get hot in a hurry. Jalen Slauson doing a nice job getting downhill.
Can't quite finish. Rebound taken down by Bafudo, and here come the Bears quick, trying to play a little bit faster than we saw at times in the first half. Hasse finds a cutting Roberson down low, working against Bothwell, partially blocked. Slauson with the board. Slauson running the break up to Bothwell. Bothwell pulls up, elbow jumper too strong. Ball tipped around to Joe Anderson. Leaves it off for Slauson. No look. Bothwell open 3 off the mark. Rebound taken down by the Bears. Furman cold here in the second half.
But they're still getting the right shots, doing a nice job attacking the offensive rebounds. That's where you can't leave Hasse open. That's where he's really good. If he's able to get loose in transition, he'll shoot them early in the clock. He's shooting good numbers so far this season. Better than 49% from three. You can't let him get an open look and get this team going in the right direction.
Mercer bench trying to urge their squad to a stop. Here's Huey, dribble handoff, Anderson. 12 on the shot clock, back over to Bothwell. Now Anderson, three, top of the key on the way. Big shot, Joe Anderson. He has three, and a timeout taken by the Paladins will extend to the full media timeout. Joe Anderson coming up big for Furman. The sophomore with three from long range, and Furman back up 15. Terrence Oglesby back with you. Furman up 15 after that three-pointer by Joe Anderson. I tell you what, been Jalen Slauson, not just offensively, just 6 points, but talk about the impact he's had defensively down low.
Well, he hasn't really done much offensively at all. He's had a couple of nice moves, including a nice little lefty off the shimmy, but defensively, he has been the X factor for this Furman team. He's outsized, sure, but his athleticism on the defensive end, whether it be closing out or getting out in the passing lanes, has been second to none tonight. 3 blocks, 3 steals, defensive versatility, and that's why pro scouts right now are checking out Furman for that young man right there.
They see all top 4 in the Southern Conference in those statistics tonight. Saw some of those 3 blocks, 3 steals in 21 minutes. He'll get a little bit of a break, and kind of an extended one, because that was a called timeout by Furman. The next whistle will be the under 16 media timeout, so a really good chance for Slauson to catch his breath.
Yeah, and a lot of young players, especially, they come into the game and they're like, well, I have to score to make an impact. Jalen Slauson is a perfect example of, hey, I can do the other things and still have a major positive impact on my team. And defensively, he has exhibited that tonight. Despite being undersized, he's been active, he's been good in the passing lanes, and he has closed out and blocked shots at a high level. Blocked jump shots, nonetheless, which is not that easy to do.
Walker working with those 3 personal fouls against Hunter, finds a cutting Johnson. Nice job avoiding the block and lays it off the glass and in. Johnson now with 5.
Yeah, Johnson gets ahead of steam. He is really athletic. He had a couple of dunks and warm-ups that had the crowd oohing and awing. He hasn't been able to get loose during the game because he's more of a 1-foot leaper, but still, regardless, a big-time athlete.
Hunter thought about a 3, pump fake, picks up his dribble now with 12 to shoot. Anderson leaves it off for Heen, can't make the layup, gets it back, and Mercer comes up with the transition rebound as Heen misses a point-blank bunny. Heen with 7 points, all coming in the first half. Out to Hasse, open 3 on the way, in and out. That was halfway down, would have cut the lead to 10.
Man, every part of the rim and out. Whenever Furman's going to run those ball screens, especially in semi-breaks, backside rotations and communication have to be high level.
Foster double teams, trying to get rid of the basketball, and he's fouled. And it'll take us to the media timeout. Ball will stay with the Paladins when we come back. 13:29 to go. Mercer trying to get back in this one in Greenville. 5:42, Paladins in front. Taking a look around the league this afternoon. Terrence Sanford knocked off Western Carolina. We got a good one in Johnson City. Wofford up 10. Chattanooga in control over the Citadel right now in the second half. VMI got throttled at home by UNCG, who Furman just beat. So this league up and down, just so competitive.
Well, I mean, from top to bottom, one of the best mid-major leagues in the country. And you look at Sanford, and they're 0-2 on the graphic, just improved to 1-2. That's a team with potential, especially when it comes to good guard play with Quez Glover. We saw them get absolutely smacked against Furman, but with Quez Glover back in the lineup, he controls the tempo for that Sanford team.
3 made by Conley Garrison, pushes the Paladin lead back to 16. Johnson looking against Bothwell, physical play, can't finish. Rebound taken down by Foster. Rebound still squarely in the Paladins' favor, 26-20. Down low, up over the rim by Slauson, and there you said, consistency by the big fella, and it's an easy 2.
Yeah, and that was Jackson Greco on the backside. Needs to be able to come over, know that your teammate has a mismatch in the post. You got to slide over to that help side and know that help is going to rotate behind you. But nonetheless, excellent pass by Bothwell in the post, a nice finish by Jalen Slauson.
Contested shot by Hasse, and
that's tough.
Can't defend it.
Yeah, tough fadeaway shot. Right when he shot, I was like, maybe you don't settle right there. Maybe you get closer to the basket. You have the mismatch. but Hasse's got that skill level from the perimeter. He can knock down shots, and tough shots at that.
Alley up to Slauson, tries to lead the Bothwell out to Garrison. Thought about a three. Into the lane, little hesitation, front rim, can't get it to fall. Garrison now 2 of 4 from the field in the afternoon, 7 points. Mercer trailing by 16. Next whistle will take us to the under 12 timeout.
Been just such a balanced attack for Furman offensively, and they just swarm to the basketball, and rotations have been crisp. As Alex Hunter, he's off and running. That should be a block. Oh my goodness gracious, what a tough call if you're Furman. Jalen Slauson jumps to the side. I thought that was an obvious block call, but hey, Brian, you know just as well as anybody, those refs, they love the block, or the charge.
Taking a look at that last play, Terrence, you thought, hey, a block. We're going to get a couple more looks at it. Coach Ritchie spent a lot of time in that timeout having a conversation with the officials. What do you think?
Yeah, that was tough. That angle doesn't really give you a whole lot, but I thought Jalen Johnson was still moving and slid over into position. Didn't have legal guarding position. Tough call if you're a Furman Paladin.
Coach Ritchie's still having a conversation here on the near side with the officials, and I think he has a pretty good case. We'll be back to Mercer, trailing by 16, and there you see some of that conversation, and the officials sharing a laugh there at the end of it. And tell you what, you got to coach yourself, and then you got to have a way of tact with the officials to, you know, try to get your point across, but keep them on your good side.
Well, you got to give this officiating crew some credit. I mean, obviously emotions are going to be high. This is a conference game, and the refs have been patient with both coaching staffs because, I mean, obviously they're very competitive.
What a save by Hunter after deflection. Bothwell has it. He'll bring it into the front court. Now slow things down with Slauson. Slauson backing down Johnson. Kicks it out to Bothwell. One more to Hunter. 3 on the way off the side of the rim. Rebound skied and taken down by Mercer. Hunter now 3 of 5 from long range in the afternoon. Down low, Slauson comes over the top for a foul. Nice hesitation.
That's tough for Slauson. That'll be, I believe, his 3rd. But this is where it gets interesting if you're Mercer. When you enter the ball from the top of the key, as you see right there, where's the help going to come from? That makes it really difficult. It tried to cover from Slauson, but he almost landed on top of his neck. But that's a place, if you're Mercer, you can enter the ball into the post without much help side. Hunter doing his best to battle. Probably needs to do a better job of trying to get around and discourage that pass inside. But nonetheless, it makes it for a really long rotation if you're Furman.
Listen, 85% from the line. This Mercer team, 75% from the charity stripe on the year. The Paladins, 71%.
Well, they've only taken 7, now 8 free throws on the game. They haven't been able to get there as much because Furman's done such a nice job using their speed to take away some of those passing lanes.
That's Glisson's first point, comes in averaging double figures. Slauson back to Hunter in front of the Furman bench. That's off the mark. Rebound taken down by Mercer, and they want to run with it with Walker. Approaching the midway point of this second half, Furman's lead is still double digits. Roberson kicks it to the corner, open 3 on the way. Walker, that's off the mark. Foster with the board.
Even though you missed that shot, nice possession by Mercer, able to create the help. You get a wide open shot on the backside.
Nice backdoor pass sent to the corner. Hesitation by Bothwell. Tries to get it to Foster, has it deflected, and now the Bears with numbers. 2-on-1 break. Glisson hesitates, gets it, goes through the block and off the glass. And it's a 60-47 game with 10:05 to play.
And Mercer in the first half really struggled to generate any kind of offense. Here in the second, they've been the initiators and they've brought the energy defensively to create some offensive opportunities for themselves.
17-point halftime lead for the Paladins, sits at 13. Furman's largest lead was at 20, and that was early in the second half at 50-30. Slauson picks up his dribble, skips near side Hunter. 3 to shoot, step back contested 3 on the way. Barely grazes the front of the rim. Mercer can cut it to a 10-point game or 11. Roberson working against Garrison. They're going to count the basket. Will go to the line to chance to complete the 3-point play, and Bears getting some momentum.
Force a tough shot, you get out and run. You looked in the first half, they were trying to slow everything down, but Robertson getting downhill, Not really sure what Conley Garrison was supposed to do defensively there, but nonetheless, nice strong drive and an and-one opportunity for Robertson. Knocks this down, it's 10 points. You're able to get it into single digits before that 8-minute media. You're cooking with something, Brian.
Mercer in the midst of a 7-0 run. Paladins 3:25 without a point. Now an 8-0 run, and it is a 10-point game. Roberson will pick up Joe Anderson as Hunter and Slauson take a blow on the bench. Every time Mercer's had a run, Furman's been there to respond. Heen, dribble handoff, Bothwell, thought about a three, top of the key, shot clock down to 10. Bothwell down low, double team comes, hesitates through contact, doesn't fall, but it'll be Mike Bothwell going to the line to shoot two.
And Bafuto did everything right except for at the last minute he left his feet. Bothwell does a nice job staying patient whenever he had the ball in the post, but you'll see Bafuto comes over on help side. He's in correct position. Stay straight up, go vertical. You're in the right spot. But a veteran move by Bothwell to get the defender up in the air, create the free throws.
2 at the line for Bothwell. He has 10 points. He's 0 of 4 from beyond the arc, a perfect 2 of 2. Now make it 3 of 3 from the line. Well, the balance scoring from these Paladins, you mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in the break. I mean, 11 for Bothwell, 12 for Bothwell, 8 for Foster, 7 Heen, Anderson with 9, Garrison with 7, Hunter with 9, Slauson with 8. And that's what makes this Furman team so dangerous. To go along with, they got 2 guys, in my opinion, Brian, that can make something happen at the end of a shot clock or at the end of a half in Bothwell and Slauson.
Bears trying to continue to cut into that lead, been as close as 10. Tries to find a cutter, goes into the hands of Walker. Walker hesitates off the glass and in. Walker now with 10 points, he's in double digits.
And that's Jalen Johnson doing a nice job getting downhill and creating that help.
10-point game, Mercer looking for a stop. Huey. Now Heen over to Garrison. Garrison trying to find some space, has it poked away and corrals it with 12 on the shot clock. Bothwell just going to step back, take the three-pointer. That's off the side of the rim, out of bounds. It'll be Mercer basketball.
Hey, Mercer's done a nice job of staying big defensively. The ball's not moving quite as quickly. Furman's not able to create as many turnovers and run on offense. And what does that do? That allows Mercer's defense and their team to be what they are, and that's big. They're doing a nice job on help side, and it's showing with Hase's ability to be on help side at about 6'9", 6'10". With Bafuto's size. I mean, it shows a lot of different things defensively that Mercer can do if the game is slowed down a little bit.
Mercer chance to get into single digits. Some midway portions of that opening half. Here's Johnson working and gonna call a bump against Conley Garrison. That's the 16th foul, make it 15th foul on the Paladins, so no shots. 20-second shot clock.
Was it on him or Heen? I thought Heen came up, tried to guard the screen.
You're correct, it is on Heen.
Try to come up and guard the screen. If he keeps his hands out, actually put both hands on the ball handler, that's going to be whistled for a foul anytime there's a hedge situation. So
Yeah,
as you see, Heen going, they go baseline, puts one hand down. That one hand, a little bit of a push, that's where that foul call is going to be.
Next whistle will be the under 8 media timeout. 10-point Paladin lead. Mercer looking for a charge. Trying to get it down low to Hase, inadvertently found Johnson in and out of bounds. It'll be Furman basketball.
And that was a tough possession. That was huge to get them within single digits. Mercer keeps battling back. We got 7:49 to play in a really good SoCon matchup. Furman up 10. We'll see you when we return.
Furman leads, 7:49 to go. See the Bears talking with head coach Greg Gary and taking a look at his profile and what he's done. Obviously coming down from Purdue to Macon and trying to put some resurgence back in that Mercer Bear basketball program and done a nice job.
Well, he's been a head coach prior, obviously. Been a head coach for a long time, apparently. I don't know if 29th year as a head coach. That's a long time. But was at Centenary for a couple of years. Left there when they went from Division I to Division III. Spent some time at Purdue. Spent some time at Duquesne. And obviously worked for Coach Painter for a long time up at Purdue, who's widely regarded as one of the best X's and O's coaches in the country. And obviously it filters down. This team kind of mirrors a smaller Purdue, if you will. Really big on the inside, try to work it inside out. That's how you base your offense. And today you're seeing some contrasting styles, and man, they've played really physical here in the second half.
We thought about a three all the way. He has it blocked out of bounds. Bafuto coming over to knock it out with 10 on the shot clock.
Nice job, Bafuto, coming over on help side. Kind of found his rhythm when the game has slowed down, but nice job by Huey. Job on help side. You can go ahead and send that back to where it came from.
Shot clock now at 6. Slauson over to Garrison. 4 to shoot, gets into the lane all the way down, can't get it to fall, and Hasse with the board. Another chance for the Bears to get it down to single digits.
You notice the ball starts to walk up the court. Big possession right here if you're Mercer. Big possession for Furman to kind of hold on to this lead. Communication has to stay high, and I don't know if we're going to have a foul. Oh, wow, we're going to call a foul on Jalen Slauson. That's tough.
It's going to be the 4th on Jalen Slauson. Just the 16th foul, no shots, but the 4th on Slauson, and they'll get Marcus Foster back in. Furman now going on 6 minutes without a field goal.
And that's tough because I think Slauson had pretty good position, but played with his hands down whenever they came off the ball screen. You know you have 3, you got to be smart.
Here's Hasse. Backdoor pass, Roberson goes up for the dunk and blocked by Huey.
Man, what a great block by Tyrese Huey. And this is where Furman can score. This is where they've been good. And as a result, you get a wide open 3. You don't score it, but you get the kind of offense that you've been able to generate, especially in the first half. Mercer's done a nice job of slowing this down in this half. But Huey able to initiate the break. Got to find ways to space out this big Furman team.
Furman trying to stop this field goal drought. High off the glass, no, Huey looks to keep it alive. And it's going to be a foul going against the Bears. Roberson with the clear out. That's going to be the Bears' 16th foul, no shots.
And it was a nice job attacking the offensive glass, and that's tough. You're going to see Huey come from the top of the key. He's coming in full speed. You need to find him and put a body on him. Comes in, tries to tip dunk it. Huey's got a lot of athleticism.
It's one of the reasons Coach Ritchie said, hey, we're going to put him out there. He said he had been seeing him practice every day, getting rebounds, and Coach Ritchie's going to take a timeout to try to get his offense going. Still with a 10-point lead, 6:27 to go. So if you're maybe sputtering a little bit from the field, what do you try to do coming out of this timeout?
Well, you try to get something quick, at least with, you have 20 seconds on the clock. Maybe not quick, but you need to get downhill into the paint to where you can pitch out. A lot of times here in the second half, Mercer's been able to slide over ball side, create some problems because they're so big. You need to get some movement, not only with the ball, but off the ball as well. That's whenever they've been able to give Mercer some problems.
6:27 to go. Paladins have 1 timeout left. Mercer has 3 timeouts left. 10-point Paladin lead. Furman led it by 17. At the break, Slauson sitting on Furman's bench with those 4 personal fouls. You have 3 for Walker and 4 for Greco. Excuse me, 1 for Greco. So really, Hasse and Walker the only issues for the Bears with those 3. Furman has Alex Hunter with 3. We mentioned Slauson with 4.
See if you try to get Alex Hunter something where he's screening away and then coming back to the basketball. Oh, nice little switch up by Mercer going 2-3 zone. Got to mess up any kind of ATO after timeout action that Coach Ritchie had drawn up.
Over to Foster with 10 to shoot. Corner Joe Anderson. Can he hit another one? Yes.
Oh.
The high arching 3 by Joe Anderson is 4th in the game.
4 of 5, and that has added so much to his game. Known as a slasher to the basket and an excellent passer, he's turned into a quality shooter as well.
Mercer looking to respond. Roberson working against Anderson all the way to the paint contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 here at the 5:55 mark.
And that second side offense for Mercer, that ball gets swung from the right to the left, and then Robertson is able to create a closeout coming out him. Joe Anderson, typically a really good defender, goes up a little bit too high, worried about the 3 ball.
Roberson a perfect 3 of 3 from the line this afternoon, 72% on the season. This one is perfect as Mike Bothwell checks back into the lane. Garrison to take a seat.
Yo, you got 1.
Robertson's done a better job here in the second half of getting his guys in the offense. And quite frankly, Mercer as a whole has done a better job of taking care of the basketball. First half, Furman was able to get out and run, and that's how they extended out this lead.
Furman's led by as many as 20. That was at the 50-30 mark, still with an 11-point lead and the basketball, approaching late stages here in this second half. Foster. Now Huey tries the backdoor pass to Bothwell. Bothwell reverse layup up and in. A nice job working through the bigger Hasse.
Man, that was a nice pass by Huey getting to the bucket. But, man, what a finish by Mike Bothwell. In there with significant size, athletic and strong enough to get the ball up to the rim and finish.
See Mercer still the chance down 13, trying to cut it to 10. That's in and out. Alex Hunter with the rebound. Hunter quickly into the front court, has an Anderson trailing, and Elect will slow it down and run the half-court offense. Screen from Huey, tries to get it down low. Can Anderson do it again? Yes!
Oh, forget
Joe
about
Anderson, 5 of 6 from long range. Keep feeding him.
Maryville's finest, Maryville, Tennessee. There's not a whole lot going up there, but Joe Anderson, he found a way to be effective, and he plays great defensive basketball on the screen and roll. The combination of him and Tyrese Huey, trapping the ball, creating turnovers, big time. 2 plays in a row by Joe Anderson. You gotta love it.
He had 14 points against Samford, sitting now at 15, all from long range, and Furman up 16. A timeout taken by Mercer at 4:47. And just when you think the Bears were going to pull within single digits, Furman pushes this lead back to 16.
Well, they've done it in a way they've been able to create some closeouts and get downhill towards the rim and pitch out. Joe Anderson has shot the ball really, really well today. 5 threes. That might be a career high for him, right? I'm not quite sure. It might be. But he's done a nice job getting in position, not forcing the issue, and a balanced scoring attack by Furman.
We look down, 15 for Anderson, 14 Bothwell, 9 Hunter, 8 Foster. I mean, and then Heen, Slauson, and Garrison on the bench with 7, 8, and 8. You had absolutely the 4 3-pointers that they made by Joe Anderson against Samford was his previous career high, so he has surpassed that with 5, as you would expect. And I tell you what, he hadn't just hit him, he hit him at big opportunities.
Yeah, and he's done a nice job of creating value for himself and creating value for this Furman team. He needed to be able to knock down shots because, look, they've got Alex Hunter. They've got J.P. Pegues. This adds another way for him to get on the floor and create playing time. That and the fact that he's a very good defensive player. As you saw right before the timeout, Joe Anderson, I don't know what you call guys right now, Brian. I don't know what the classifications are. I think he still qualifies as a freshman. Might be a COVID freshman. Might be a redshirt freshman. I don't know.
He's a player.
He's there.
He's
young.
on the roster.
He's got a lot of years left.
Mercer in need of some stops. Can Anderson do it again? Passes it up, top of the key, Slauson. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Anderson trying to get all the way to the glass, hesitates. Back out to Hunter, now shot clock under 10. Slauson, long 3-pointer, almost banked it in, long rebound. Joe Anderson.
That's probably not what you want. You got about 7 seconds left on the clock. Jalen Slauson has Bafuto pulled out. That's an excellent opportunity for him to attack the rim.
Turnover. And here come the Bears the other way. 3-pointer off the mark. Hasse looks to keep it alive to Bafuto. Tell you what, rebounds right now 36-26 in favor of the Paladins, as that one's made from long range by Jalen Johnson. He now has 8, back to a 13-point game. Under 4 to go here from Greenville.
And they just keep hanging around. They got to find a way to get into single digits. Haven't been able to do it so far, but large part because of that young man right there, number 22, Joe Anderson.
That's off Alex Hunter, out of bounds. It'll be Mercer basketball when we come back.
Joe
3:32 to go.
Joe Anderson's been the man. Number 22, knocking down too many threes. Career high 5 of them, and he's done them over high hands. Big Joe knocking them down from range.
13-point Furman lead, 3:32 to go. It's been everybody tonight. We talked about Joe Anderson, but look at this balanced attack for Coach Bob Ritchie.
Well, it's certainly been by committee, and when that ball moves for Furman, this is what makes them dangerous. I feel like we've talked about it the entire game, Brian. They have so many guys that can make plays happen. Anderson just happens to be that guy tonight. We know about Bothwell, we know about Hunter, we know about Slauson. And when Hunter and Slauson aren't having their typical games of 15 to 20 points, It's nice to have a COVID freshman, Joe Anderson, step up and knock down 5 threes.
Mercer still trying to make a late charge, 13-point deficit. Nice down low to Bafuto, who puts it over the top. Quick 2 points, 11-point game. Still, the Bears have not been able to get up that single-digit hump. Have a couple opportunities mid-first half. Furman defense held strong.
Well, they've battled. That was a nice set coming out of a timeout to get Bafuto towards the rim. Oh, no, that's tough.
Back to the Bears, not tipped. So stay with Mercer, a chance to get it back into single digits as the clock goes under 3. Not been that way since the opening half. I'll say dribble handoff Walker, getting it down low. Bafuto off the glass. 9-point game, 70-61.
And that's what we found out. Mercer has found that out. Whenever they enter the ball from the top of the key, there is no help behind. Furman has done a really nice job whenever Mercer is trying to enter offense from the side. That backside's coming over. Problem is, at the top of the key, makes it almost impossible to send extra bodies to the post.
Foster, 10 on the shot clock, down against Hasse. Over to Slauson, thought about a 3, drives baseline, reverse layup, no, but a foul. It'll be 2 at the line for Slauson. That was a tough angle he was looking to finish at.
Yeah, it was tough, but you're creeping towards the end of the clock. Nice job by Slauson, be able to get downhill. He needs to use his speed and athleticism towards the end of the clock to make something happen. But you look at Furman moving forward. UNCG, very good. Wofford, obviously, they've started off a little slow, but they have weapons. Max Klesmet, Ryan Larson, 2 guards that can really shoot the ball.
Both those games, part of Furman's weekend at the Wells Series. They'll be downtown. Terrence, you and I will be here to call them. And tell you what, good environment, good crowd here this afternoon.
Great venue.
Also, of course, this will host the first and second round NCAA tournament in March. Last time it was here, they had Duke, North Carolina, and South Carolina, all at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Slauson hits 2 big free throws, back to an 11-point game. As Coach Ritchie and Slauson, you know what they're discussing, I think, the last 2 Bafuto plays and how to switch those down low. Still back to a double-digit lead, 2:12 to go. As that's thrown out of bounds as Walker sends the high fastball into the second row.
Well, it seems like every time Mercer tries to make something happen or get it within single digits, they shoot themselves in the foot. Nonetheless, Sean Walker Jr. got to make that play happen. Robertson was wide open there in the corner for an open shot. That's the kind of game, that's the kind of play on the road that's going to keep you in it.
Garrison crosses the timeline, 3 seconds to spare. Now Slauson. We'll see Coach Ritchie telling his team, not the easy layup, pull it out. And clock's on your side with an 11-point lead and 2 to go. Bothwell back out to Slauson. Now Hunter. Slauson forced up a 3, had to. Shot clock was down at 2, but how about Garrison tries to get it, and he does with 1:39 remaining with 20 on the shot clock on the offensive board. And tell you what, Conley Garrison hustle plays.
It always seems to be him whenever you need an offensive rebound, a tipped ball, somebody diving on the floor. Conley Garrison bringing his senior leadership into the fold.
Three, big shot, that might do it. Back to a 14-point game.
That
as
extends
Bothwell
it out.
hits it.
Yeah, that extends it out. Bothwell, man, shoots it over top of high hands. Jalen Johnson misses it. He was playing defense on the other end, but he's not a small person. He's got really long arms, almost a 7-foot wingspan. He's got good size. Bothwell just extends right over the top, and I think we're going to end up taking a look at this to see who gets the ball.
They will go to the monitor as it stands right now. Mercer basketball, 1:18 to play. Tell you what, credit the Bears. Furman got up big. Coach Greg Garrett and his squad fought back, but every time Furman was pushed, the Paladins responded. As we take a look at what these teams have upcoming, we mentioned doesn't get easier. VMI, UNCG at home, and this is one of those years in the league. Home games, almost must-wins.
Oh, absolutely, but VMI, Mercer, the Jake Stevens, Hasse matchup is going to be one to watch. 2 5-men that like to step out, excellent passers, good shooters. That's going to be a fun one to watch. But moving ahead, you got to win at home in the SoCon. It's a loaded league from top to bottom. A lot of good talent. We're going to take a look at what happened.
I think the leg of Huey It's what they're having to look at, and it goes off. I think it goes off the right leg of Huey, and it should be, I believe, Mercer basketball.
Nice job by Hasse. Able to get that last deflection. It does look like it would be Mercer ball.
Officials trying to get it right here. Of course, under 2 minutes, you can go to the monitor as trying to make sure the call gets right. Tell you what, Furman upcoming. They'll be at home this Thursday against ETSU. And then how about next Saturday, 3 o'clock tip, CBS Sports Network, the Paladins in Chattanooga.
Chattanooga's got a lot of weapons. Silvio De Sosa, the Kansas transfer, didn't play last game, but regardless, Jean-Baptiste, they've got a lot of guys who can score the basketball, and boy, are they athletic.
Every possession a must score now for the Bears. Quick trigger three for the corner.
Wow.
Good. Knocked down with the hand in his face by Jalen Johnson. It's going to be a full timeout now for the Mercer Bears as the Furman lead sits at 11 with 1:15 to go.
I really like that set. It was a screen in for Jalen Johnson, or he curled, screened, and then received another screen for an open three in a corner. You're going to see it. He actually set the first screen, creates some confusion, comes off, sets his feet, and knocks it in. Excellent play design by Coach Gary.
Johnson now with 11 points. Mercer 7 of 17 from long range. Furman 10 of 26. So if you're Mercer right now, do you play the foul game yet? I mean, your next foul is obviously 1-1.
I mean, you're certainly pressuring, and you're getting to that point because it is, I mean, at best, it's a 4-possession game. At best. So you do start fouling. You try to create a turnover before half court. After that, it's just a matter of how much you want to extend this basketball game.
Both teams an even 43% from the field. Ironically, the exact same percentage difference. Those 3-pointers, and how about Furman from the line? 17 of 18 for the charity stripe for Coach Bob Rich's squad.
I mean, that changes, that puts the game on its head, and you would think you would try to make it the other way around with Mercer's size, but Furman's gotten their opportunities at the free throw line from attacking and getting downhill and using their speed. But Mercer, nonetheless, has battled here in this second half. They just haven't been able to make that last step to get it into single digits.
They'll try to force some turnovers. As Furman looks to beat the pressure, they got 5 capable guys to bring it up the floor, including Slauson.
So you look, you got a long athlete on the ball and Jalen Johnson, full court pressure.
Ball tipped. Hunter trying to go in the corner is going to be out of bounds, and it will be Mercer basketball. No call on the contact, and the Paladins turn it over. Furman does have 1 timeout.
And Jalen Slauson set the screen towards the 3-point line at the top of the key. He was wide open. He had 2, attack 1. Slauson, who was right outside of your screen, was wide open at the top of the key. Can't get rushed whenever you're getting pressed. Take your time to get the ball.
Bufuto down low, hesitates off the back iron, rebound by Slauson. Big miss, and now Slauson will be fouled, and he'll go to the line for a 1-and-1. Slauson with a chance to continue Furman's success from the line, and that's when Bufuto's got to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. That puts you inside single digits, not able to convert, and those are the kinds of possessions that get you towards the end of the games. They've been terrific from the line all game. I mean, Jalen Slauson knocks down another one. That's 18 of 19. And whenever you're able to put yourself in position and knock down shots at that rate, that's a whole lot of free buckets. And it's been the difference in the ball game. Both teams shooting it identical from the field. But the free throw line has been the biggest difference.
Johnson quickly into the front court. He's working against Garrison. That's going to be a tough step back 3 from the corner, and that's well off the mark. And it'll be Furman basketball now. 13-point lead, 53 seconds to go. Seems like the Paladins will withstand the late push from Mercer. I'll tell you what, about 10 minutes to go. Mercer did a good job, but a little too late. Furman so efficient early to build that 20-point lead.
Well, there's some good things to take away if you're Mercer. You finally take care of the basketball. You're able to slow down the tempo against a really fast Furman team, and the fouling will continue from Mercer. But some good things to take away. Your bigs started to settle in. Your guards didn't turn the ball over as much. Obviously, they miss Alvarez. I think that's a big piece. He's relied on so much with the ball handling from the point guard position and a lot of screen and roll actions. But nonetheless, Furman today especially in the first half. Led by Jalen Slauson, turning defense into offense. I mean, he had 3 blocks, 3 steals in the first half, was the catalyst to igniting their break as they just knocked down another free throw. Unbelievable. I mean, every team in the country want their team to, or every coach in the country want their team to shoot it like this.
Furman 20 of 21, one more coming. Hey, tell you what, Coach Ritchie's doing this on limited sleep. Can't get through without congratulating Coach Ritchie and his wife Jess on the birth of their 3rd child. Jax Ritchie was actually born, Coach tells us, at about 3:30 in the morning of the UNCG game, as that one's rattles in and out, rebound taken down, and it'll be shots. So Coach Ritchie's there for the birth, makes sure everything okay. Gets to Greensboro, coaches the game, and then goes back to the hospital. And congratulations to Coach Ritchie's wife Jess, and of course big brother Mac and Audrey, and they're excited. So we were talking before the game. We said, "Are you tired?" He goes, "Tired? Yeah, I'm tired." And so congratulations to Coach as he's
been mainlining
battling
Red Bull.
many things.
He's been mainlining Red Bull. No, good for him. Congratulations to him and his family, obviously. 3 kids. That's you're going from man to zone right there. Going from man to zone.
Said, my hands are full with 2, and that's about all I can handle. That's that man-to-man defense. Tell you what, Furman continues to knock him down. They'll be 23 of 24.
Garrett Heen has missed the only one. He needs to run.
Lead back out to 17 here, 35 seconds ago. Furman on their way to polishing off to 11-6 and 3-1 in the Southern Conference as Hasse to Alex Hunter. And tell you what, they're going to still make Furman prove that they can knock him down here from the line. Home crowd a little bit of annoyed. But I tell you what, credit Greg Gary. He talked about it at halftime and made some adjustments, motivated his team, and they put some pressure on this Paladin squad.
Well, it came down to not having many live ball turnovers. Steal-wise, they had 5 in the first half, did Furman. In the second half, only 3. Of course, they weren't able to get out and run at the same rate that they were, but nonetheless, Coach Gary doing a nice job slowing the tempo down in the second half.
And a missed free throw. Alex Hunter is going to have to get on the line as well.
No, send them both there. Oh, 2 of them.
And that's a 78% free throw shooter as Hunter slipped. So 17-point lead. Mercer into the front court with Johnson. Coach Ritchie saying no foul, and Johnson will get the layup to fall. And Coach Greg Gary says no foul, and he'll just let the last 20 seconds roll off. Furman will win this one 81-66. Terrence, great basketball game.
Oh, excellent job by Furman initiating their offense through their defense. Their versatility on the defensive end makes them really, really dangerous. Nice job by Coach Gary to slow it down in the second half, get their bigs involved in the play. But Furman really put on a show with their ball movement, their scoring balance, and Joe Anderson, career high 5 threes today, was excellent.